That brings a whole new meaning to the term eat shit and die. Three, two, one. Yes. Yes, girl. Slay. That's what the girls are saying these days. Slay. Slayer. So three Ohio brothers die after getting stuck in a manure pit. Three brothers were fixing a manure pump and... Oh, here it is. Three Ohio brothers, all in their 30s, have died after getting stuck in a manure pit on their farm, according to authorities. Gary Woopker, 37, Brad Woopker, 35, and Todd Woopker, 31, died Tuesday after being unable to escape from the manure pit and passing out from the fumes. Sergeant Henry St. I don't even know what St. is. St. Dot. Henry Fire Chief Matt Leffield, whatever, told the press. And that has three pictures here of these gentlemen. They all look the same. A mass for the three brothers will be held on Monday, according to New Jersey Hodgecamp Sons Inc. Funeral Home. Dude, these fucking... What is this, New Jersey? To New Jersey, I don't know. Bunch of weird, unpronounceable names. The Woopker brothers were members of St. Aloysius Catholic Church and the Coldwater Young Farmers. The siblings worked alongside each other and their father, a GBT Woopker Farms LLC, at GBT Woopker Farmers LLC. Damn, dude. That brings a whole new meaning to the term eat shit and die, you know? Damn, bro. Fucking imagine that. You go out working, you have to make a fast buck. Next thing you know, you're swimming with the worms, you know? That sucks, dude. At what point do you fall in and you know you're gonna die and you're like, damn, I'm gonna die in shit today. I'm gonna die in shit. I've gotten myself into shit sometimes, I've started shit sometimes, but never physically fallen and died in shit. Shit. That sucks. So rest in peace to these three brothers. I'm not making a joke out of it. I'm just covering the news as usual. And then Kanye West Donda, the album quote-unquote Donda, is already breaking records before it's even released. And I'm a huge Kanye fan, so I'm going to click on this. And Donda was his mom. And she died. I don't know when she died, but she died at some point, all of us are going to do. So Kanye West's much-delayed album Donda is already... I'm going to move this a little bit. Is already proving to be immensely popular, even though fans are still unable to purchase copies. The musician had held 3 listening events for his upcoming music project, with the 2 most recent ones taking place at Atlanta's Mercedes-Benz Stadium. And Billboard is now reporting that the last of those listening parties, which took place on August 5th, had broken records for Apple Music. According to the publication, the live stream pulled in 5.4 million viewers after... I lost my place. Making it the platform's most watched event. Beyond Apple Music, it also sits comfortably among the best watched live streams, with the 2020 Primetime Emmy Awards gathering 6.1 million viewers across the U.S. when it aired in September. So Donda was originally scheduled to release on July 24th, 2020, before hitting delays this summer. Fans expected it to be released on July 23rd, the day after the first of the 2 listening parties was held in Atlanta, blah, 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 blah. So he's coming out with a new album. I think this is his 10th album. Could be wrong, but I think this is his 10th album, and it's named Donda after his mother Donda, So god damn, Kanye. As if he wasn't rich enough. Dude, I think he's a billionaire. He's definitely a billionaire. And rightfully so. I mean, love him or hate him, man, he's a character. And I'm more of a fan of Kanye. Like, I'm more of a fan of 2004 Kanye. You know, before he kind of went a little nuts. But I don't know. I kind of like him, like, now, you know. I kind of like him now. Like, he's kind of edgy, you know. You don't know what he's going to say. You know, he just put out that gospel record. And he was running for president. Came out in support of Trump. I mean, this guy is literally... He can go any direction. He can go any direction. You know that dude. Everybody knows that one dude who can go any direction. You know, like an uncle or something, or a cousin. You know, you go to a family barbecue, or, you know, a family cookout. People call it cookouts or barbecues or picnics. There's several terms for that. But you go and you know that one guy. You know, it's usually a cousin or, you know, an uncle. You know, you're sitting there talking to him about football or the weather. And next thing you know, he's in the backyard doing, you know, one-arm pull-ups on the oak tree. And you're wondering, like, damn, how does Uncle John have all this energy? Meanwhile, he's just blasting lines on the dashboard before he came, you know? You know, why is Uncle John building a spaceship in my basement? Damn, dude, what is going on? So the news, it really upsets me on a serious note to look at the news, any news, you know, CNN or Fox or NBC. It's just so upsetting because the sheer panic that these news networks want to put the citizens of the United States in is, like, very scary, and it's very disappointing, you know, because I mean, why would you want to put your own citizens, your own fellow man, into such a state of mass hysteria and mass panic with these headlines just for the ad clicks, just for the clicks, just for the traffic? It's very, very scary. So any of you who watch the news, or, you know, go on your phone or go on the computer and look at the news, it's worse when it's on screen. Please don't panic, because 90% of the shit that these quote-unquote media sites, and they're not media. It's a biased shit show. Every fucking company that calls themselves media is just a biased clown party. So don't panic when you see shit, because it's not, chances are it's blown out of proportion, it's not true, or it's just clickbait. Because you gotta remember, these people are not interested anymore on giving you good information, on making you feel comfortable or making you feel safe. That is not the US anymore with our media. That is not the business that they're in. It is not about truth. It is not about being objective anymore. It's solely about being biased, and it's solely about clicks. Clicks, 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 ad clicks, money, ad clicks, money. It's all about that. And nothing gets you more of that than panic. Nothing gets you more of that than panic. Now, you know, there's, I'm not saying all of these stories, or all of these articles, rather, are fake. I'm not, you know, that fake news person, but when I see bullshit, I call it. And the media, and everybody knows this, that's why the masses are turning to podcasts for objective information, especially Rogan's podcast, because they're so tired of the biased shit show that Fox News is, that CNN is, MS, all these, like I said, quote unquote media outlets, they're shit shows. Bunch of clowns in suits and ties. Rachel Maddow and Megyn Kelly and Tucker Carlson, and it's all about panic, and it's all about clicks and money, and it should be illegal. I mean, and it's technically terrorism. I mean, if you look up the word terrorism, I mean they're putting fear in the hearts of people for political gain. I mean, it is, the media today is the literal definition of terrorism, and it's just allowed to go on. And like I said, it's dying. It's dying because Joe Rogan on any given fucking day will have way more views than CNN will. I mean, I've heard multiple people say that. TV is dying. I think the traditional media outlets are dying. I mean, if you go on TV, like just yesterday I was watching TV before bed, and I was trying to find like a movie or a show to put on, and I was clicking through all the channels mindlessly, just looking for something, and I found a bunch of good movies that were on, like The Shawshank was on, a bunch of other good ones that I'm forgetting. South Park, of course, was on. I'm always down to watch that, but I bet you there were 7 shows and movies that I was interested in watching, and all of them were on commercial break at the same time. And I swear to God, the one day I was watching a movie, I turned it on right as it was turning back to the movie, so the commercial break was done, the movie came back on, and in like 2 or 3 minutes they had commercials again. I was like, what? And I laughed to myself. I'm like, this is why TV is dying. This is why it's dying, and I can't wait. It's a flawed way of. It's very flawed. I mean, to give somebody 2 minutes of watching time and then to go, okay, now we're gonna show you 10 minutes of shit that you don't want to buy. Very flawed, and it's dying, and I'm glad for it. And same with these media outlets. Nobody trusts them. Nobody trusts them. I don't, and a lot of people don't. And that's what I said before. That's why people are turning to like these third-party fucking like places, like podcasts and YouTube channels, just full of, very objective way of looking at the world. And I'm a firm believer that there's a lot of good left in this world. There's a lot of good things that are happening, that are going on, and that will be done, and that can be done. But the media is so evil and so greedy and money hungry that they will go out of their way to make shit up to make you panic. And it's fucking gross. It really is gross. And I'm glad. I'm sitting back just fucking laughing with happiness when I see these fucking the approval rating of these networks. They're not going to last much longer, man. CNN can only bullshit their way in this world for so long. Fox News can only bullshit their way in this world for so long. I don't like Fox. I don't like CNN. But I like Fox a little more than CNN. Because CNN is just... wow. I mean, if you looked at the categories that... Fox is no better. I'm not a fan of Fox, but... if I had to choose one, Fox is a little more friendlier. Every now and then you'll see, like, endangered panda found in Asia. They're gonna repopulate, like, something, like, nice like that. Nice news. We do not live in a time anymore where there is an uplifting news story. Local news is like that, Local news will cover on, murals and stuff, and yard sales and people clapping and stuff, a bunch of white people in jeans and stuff. But these mainstream guys, you ain't getting that anymore. You are not getting a single ounce of good, heartwarming news because it doesn't sell. So anybody who watches the news and they panic, I mean, yeah, the country's in kind of a country's in pieces right now because of COVID. COVID has been politicized, which I don't know how you could make that about politics, but it's been politicized just how everything is in this country. And people are on edge. Understandable. People are on edge, and eventually it'll all go away. I thought it was going to go away a lot sooner than it was, but eventually this will die down again, and hopefully, I mean, what makes me hopeful is I look at diseases and pandemics that ran through Europe and stuff 500-600 years ago, and of course a lot of people died, but even they got through it with no science, with no with no legit doctors, with no technology. They got through it. Eventually they got through it. And we are so far ahead that we're going to get through it. We're going to get through this eventually, but things are just on edge right now. But I don't know. I still think there's a lot of good left in this world to do. And I totally forgot. I always do this. I like get off on a branch, like a tangent, and I forget what my original thing was. But yeah, I mean, to make a long story short, anybody who's panicking, don't panic, because that's these people's business. The days of good news, them covering good news, is over. It's over. You want to hear good news? Go watch podcasts. Go listen to Joe Rogan and hear him talk about literally anything that comes up. That show will make you feel good. CNN won't make you feel good. It'll make you scared and panicked. So that's that. And I saw a couple things on here too about I still can't believe that they're holding festivals still, like music festivals. I mean, the numbers are going up like crazy, and I don't know, I still can't believe that they're still being held. You know, like here's one here. Group calls on Austin to cancel ACL Fest super spreader event. They called it a super spreader event. I mean, it's true. You know, it's very, very true. I don't know. It's hard thing. It's a hard thing to govern all this. It's a hard thing to please everybody, because one side wants everything shut down. One side wants checks to everybody, and then the other side of people, they want to be able to go out and do what the fuck they want. They want to be able to go out and work. They don't want to be shut down. They want to work for the money. And I see both sides, honestly. You know, I do see both sides. Let me just click back to the. Make sure we're recording okay. Yep, we're going good. Yeah, so I see both sides, you know. I try to be as objective as I can on here. Some things might outshine others, but I can't believe that these festivals are still going on. And the Hella Mega Tour, Green Day and, you know, Weezer and all that, like, Green Day being as liberal as a band as they are, I mean, they sure as hell are keeping these shows going. Like, I thought more liberal people wanted everything shut down. You know, but I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, if they're testing people. That's a lot of testing. You're not, you know, it's not like you got to test 100 people in some dive bar. That is a lot of people to test every day. It's crazy. So I don't know. I don't think it's a good idea. I think we should kind of lay low on this stuff again. I'm thinking about starting to wear a mask again, because I was in the habit of wearing one before. Then things really died down. The numbers almost went to like next to nothing. And me, and alongside of, I'm sure, everybody in the country, and thought that, okay, this thing has finally died down. The vaccines must be working. And they kind of lifted, you know, the load a little bit on the masks. But yeah, I'm thinking about just starting to wear mine again, and just to go in like a gas station or something, you know, for 2 minutes. I I'm not the kind of person to sit and be like, make a big stink out of it. So I think it'd be a smart idea for anybody, I guess, and I'm not telling you what to do. I was just basically just saying I was thinking about wearing mine again. Numbers are climbing. Might as well just do it. So yeah. But yeah, as far as the music festivals, like I was saying, I don't know. I don't know how they're still able to go on and stuff, but... And then I did find a really funny... I don't know if it was funny. Oh, no, this... Okay, yeah, so I kept this page... I kept this page up because the thumbnail reminded me of some videos that I was watching yesterday. And they're all in Mexico. And there's these people in Mexico who are driving on, a regular street. And they come to a stoplight. It's usually a stoplight or like on the side of like a desolate road. And these carjackers, like usually run by the cartel. And it's scary because you could see these people starting to roll up on, to this. There's like usually guys with, pickup trucks or something, like blocking a light or blocking like a road. And you could see these people roll up to it and they're confused. They have like a dash cam on, so they're talking and they're confused. And then these guys in these pickup trucks or SUVs, they kind of block the road. They block the people from just like blowing right through. And it's so creepy and so scary to hear these people's reactions, like the drivers, like the people who are, could be potential victims of these carjackings. They start breathing heavy. They're like that. You can definitely tell that their adrenaline is going up. And I put myself in that position. I was watching it and I'm like, I can imagine that. I can imagine driving and every 1 minute everything is fine and the next minute your life is in danger and you're trying to evade these thugs, and they are thugs. They're cartel fucking members who don't have real jobs and all they do is kill people and behead people. They're thugs. So I could imagine the adrenaline going through their bodies, and it was just scary, and it's all in Mexico. It's all because the cartels are so prominent there. I mean, it's a very scary thing. Around here, like, let me try to think of the worst we had. Dude, I saw a guy one time on a road. It's not really by my house, but it's kind of local. I guess you could call it local. There was a pregnant cow that had given birth on the side of this rural road. A double R, they call it, a rural road. And this cow, a female cow, I would think, gave birth to these little cows. And there was a farmer on a four-wheeler with a flat tire in the back who rode up to the mama cow giving birth, and he just started picking these little calves up one by one and taking them back to the farm because it was his cow. The mother cow was his cow, and she got away. And I was looking, and this happened when I was young, so as I got older I thought that maybe she just wandered off so she could have a peaceful place to give birth, because she was on this weird... She wasn't in the middle of the road or in danger. She was off to the side, so nobody would hit her, but she was, close to the road. And I was just thinking, man, like, she probably just wandered away, because cows are smart. I would like to think they're smart, despite the noises they make. And I'm sure she just wanted to just walk away and have a peaceful place to give birth. Just like how you go to the park for your lunch break. You don't want to sit next to your fucking annoying bitch coworker at lunch. Like, you relish that moment. You want you want to see the trees blowing in the gentle breeze. You want to see that sunlight hitting the slide there. You don't want to sit next to damn Courtney and hear her talk about her fucking deadbeat boyfriend, who she never breaks up with. Always a fight, always a problem. Never cuts it off because she loves it too. But yeah, man, you just want to go to a peaceful place, and that's what that cow did. And I don't know if she's still alive. I was probably in high school when I saw that. So yeah, I wasn't a kid. I was probably like 16 or 17 when I saw that. So, I'd like to think that those little calves that were born, I'd like to think that they were still alive. Making somebody's day, making somebody's world a nicer place. That farmer. And the farmer, he looked like, let me think what he looked like. He looked like the equivalent of a, how do I want to say it? If like a human being was like a snapping turtle, that's what he looked like. Like, he was kind of skinny, but his like head, like, and his neck was real long, but his head kind of went forward. He had an old guitar strapped to his back from a strap. He kind of threw it behind him like Johnny Cash, and that's what he was doing. And he picked these little calves up one by one and just drove them, 500 feet to the barn. So yeah, I saw that one time. But yeah, as far as these carjacking videos go, just check them out. Like I said, they're really scary, and they give you anxiety just watching them. It's crazy. So if you just type up like I don't know, like carjackings in Mexico, or like almost carjacked, you'll see. And it's crazy how these carjackers, these CJs, will try to fucking jack your car, or try to rob you or kill you in front of like 30 other people that are like behind you. Like, there's no secrecy to it. Things are different over there, man. Like, here, if you're gonna rob somebody, you better be fucking damn sure there's not a soul around. Because you never know who's gonna turn you in, who's gonna sell you out. Little fucking, that little 95-year-old woman who weighs 50 pounds next door, lives by herself, and her cat, Jingles, she'll be the one to turn you in. Dude, these fucking guys are ready to rob people of their motorized vehicles in front of 30 other people, like, lined up behind them. It's crazy. It is crazy. And another kind of video and YouTube stuff I've been on, like a rabbit hole I've been getting down the last 2 weeks. Wait, what time is it? 2:07. Okay, I'm good. Yeah, so another rabbit hole I've been getting down the last 2 weeks is, they're called First Amendment audits. Okay, so if anyone has heard of them, great. If nobody knows what that means, the First Amendment is the right to, I guess, film. I don't even know. I know what it is. I know the gist of it, but I want to give a... Hold on, I'm typing it in here. I just want to give a proper thing. Okay, so the First Amendment. Why is it not giving me... Okay, here we go. Sorry, just bear with me. The First Amendment guarantees freedoms concerning religion, expression, assembly, and the right to petition. Okay, so filming comes in that category. So filming in a public space comes in that category. So there's a channel in like specifically that I watch that I kind of like. It's called Watching the Watchmen. So if you're kind of curious to see what it is, because I'll probably do it no justice talking about it, but if you're curious to see what it is, just go to YouTube, I guess, and type up Watching the Watchmen, and you'll see all these videos. And I mean, they don't break the law. I mean, they're very careful about what they do, and they're not instigators either. But they go out to public buildings, like say, okay, so they travel the country, so they go state to state. So it's not, the same building every time. They're like rock stars. They're in a new fucking city every video. But they go and they have like these GoPros on like tripods that they're holding, and they just stand out front of like a, post office or any kind of public building that you have the freedom to film with no like nefarious intent, I guess. And you should see how fucking butthurt people get from being on camera. And like I said, these guys aren't breaking the law. Like, they're just filming because they can. And they can do that. I learned a lot from it. And at first I didn't like it because I was like, these guys going out starting trouble. Like, how would I feel about that? But the more you watch it, the more you understand, like, these guys are allowed to do this. Like, I realized, like, they are allowed to do this and they're protected by the First Amendment. And people get so butthurt. Like, people are looking for fights and looking for drama. Fucking grown-ass adults. Grown-ass people are looking for fights. What are you doing? Why are you filming me? And a lot of them have this thing where they think that the person filming in public needs that person's consent. And I thought that too. But I guess when you're in public, you are not entitled to privacy unless you stay home or you have to create it. But if you're out walking on the sidewalk, apparently, like, you're allowed to be filmed. Like, you leave your house, your privacy kind of goes away. And like I said, if you have to either stay at home if you want your privacy, or you have to create privacy, like in a car or in some sort of whatever. So these people get so butthurt and they think like they're so entitled to all this privacy, and these guys are just filming and they're nice. They try to engage people, but the guy, it's a father and son. So the dad's name is Jason, and then the son's name is Ben, and he's like a teenager. I think he's like 70. He's kind of a little more soft-spoken, but they really know their shit, man. And the dad, Jason, really knows his shit. And you should just see him every video shut down these fucking people. Like, just shut them down as far as knowledge. And the cops come every video. Whatever police department is in that city, they come. And you should hear, I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how a citizen would shut down a bunch of these guys who are supposed to uphold the law. Like, he knows more than the people who uphold the law in this country, or are supposed to. It's really interesting, and it's actually kind of entertaining. So I probably did it no justice. You'd have to go check it out yourself. So if you're interested in it, it's called Watching the Watchmen on YouTube. And yeah, really entertaining. Yeah, I've been going down that rabbit hole. Also, like, rabbit holes are weird because not only are they, like holes rabbits go down, but they're also like different, just all the weird avenues you can take on YouTube that you don't even have to be interested in, but something in your brain just clicks, so I've been going down those Watching the Watchmen guys, the First Amendment auditors, and I've also been going down, there's this guy on YouTube there's this guy on YouTube. His name, what is his YouTube name now? I forget. It's called Cincinnati Picker or whatever. And this guy wears a GoPro on his chest, or, wherever he wears it. And he goes to all these yard sales. And he lives in Ohio. And, he seems like a nice gentleman, probably in his early 40s or so. And he goes to these yard sales and he just buys shit. But what he does is he turns around and flips them on eBay, and that's how he makes his money. And he's got this big YouTube channel. But it's interesting to shop when you're not even shopping, like by him wearing that GoPro, you get that, his point of view. It's like you're right there with him shopping, and I think that clicks with people, and it's cool to see the shit he buys. I watched one video where he bought these two amplifier heads. It was a crate and a heart key. amplifier heads. They were for these big half stack like amplifiers. Expensive shit, especially for those two brands. Those brands are awesome. I've had both of those brands in amplifier form. Really good shit. But there were these real expensive, like high fucking watt heads, and the guy selling them didn't even know what really the fuck they were worth or what they were. Dude, this Cincinnati picker guy bought them both for 20 a piece. $40 he got these two fucking like 120, 150 watt fucking heads. I was like, what? It's crazy, some of this shit. And then like some of the shit he buys, he'll buy it for like $1. He'll sell it on eBay for like 25. And he just does that all day. That's an awesome way to make a living. You know, because you're just going around buying cool shit. You know, it's not a real job. It's work, but it's not a 9 to 5, and that's, you know, I'm all for that. God forbid, gotta go in a certain time, but, I mean, I don't know. Just these rabbit holes, you know. Everyone listening probably knows some sort of rabbit hole, you know, they went down. And, yeah, so check the channels out if you're interested or not. And I'm trying to look if I had any other... I swear I had some other stuff to talk about, too. Yeah, yard sales, man. Last week I talked about... What was it? The flea market. Talked about the flea market and how sus it was, you know. And yard sales, man, it's hit or miss. You know, you'll go to a yard sale and you'll find a bunch of good shit. You know, you'll find diamond rings if you have to, you know, buried in a cookie jar. You know, the old lady wants $5 for the cookie jar. You got, you know, 85 grand worth of diamond rings in there. She didn't even know it. You know, old Brenda down the block. Old Brenda. I'm trying to think of some interesting shit, man, I found at yard sales. I never went to many yard sales, even as a kid or even now. I just don't have the time. But, yeah, man, interesting shit. Yard sales. Just a bunch of fucking burnt out adults just getting rid of their garbage. And other burnt out adults going and buying the garbage. But in this case, dude, this guy, he resells it and he makes a living off it, which is awesome. I think it's awesome to see something that you like doing and just finding a way to monetize it, to make a living off of it. You know, I pray on a serious note, you know, I praise anyone who can pay their bills and make a living doing what they love. And in this guy's case, it's going to yard sales and buying shit and reselling them for way more money, and he makes a profit, and he's got a house and a fucking car, and it's unorthodox, but it's cool. I think it's cool, you know? So if anybody, you know, listening now or listening in 5 years or 10 years, if there's something that you want to do and it's kind of unorthodox, and what, you know, for anyone who doesn't know what that means, unorthodox is something that's kind of unusual in terms of, what's the word? Pattern, I guess. Like, if you have a group of 10 people and 9 people have office jobs, and then the 10th guy, you know, I don't know, has a podcast, you know, to those majority of the people, that's like unorthodox, you know, it's kind of unusual, and it's weird like the looks you get when you know, I've had people tell me before, like, they've had this passion or something that they wanted to do and eventually make money, and like just the not, I don't even have words for it. It's like people not encouraging each other, you know. Like for me, if I met somebody who said, yeah, I want to make a living collecting stamps. Like, I don't know how you would do that, but, there must be a way, especially in today's world with all the internet and stuff. And I wouldn't discourage them, or I wouldn't look down on them, or I wouldn't ask all these, weird questions. Like, I would be like, that's not my thing, but that's awesome that you love that, and I wish you luck. Like, there's everybody finds their way in this world, and it might not be a 9 to 5. It might not be, you go to a cubicle and drain your soul for 8 hours a day, fucking 5 days a week. Not everybody wants to do that. I mean, the looks people get when you tell them that you don't want to go to college or you didn't finish college, it's like they think it's all over for you. They think you're going to be some bum who makes no money, and it's like, have you opened your eyes? Like, are you seeing that a college degree in this day and age is really starting to become more and more not needed? I mean, you got like billionaires like Elon Musk saying it's not needed. He doesn't even hire people. Well, I'm sure he does to an extent, especially in SpaceX, because that requires precision and very smart people. But, I mean, he said in interviews, like, he doesn't really hire based on, like, education, I guess, to a certain point. Like, if you're really good at what you do, he's going to hire you. He's going to give you a shot, and I love that. But, like I was saying, like in today's world, the opportunity for success is just rising. With the internet, with YouTube, with TikTok, with all these ways to monetize your shit, your gig. It's really easier now than ever to pursue whatever endeavor you want to do. I mean, just take now versus, take 2021 versus 2001. There was no podcast in 2001. People are making a fucking living and they're killing it. People are millionaires because of their podcast. Back in 2001, the internet was a relatively new thing, but they didn't have podcasts. YouTube wasn't around. Spotify wasn't around. All these platforms were not around. And it's crazy how in 20 years you went from being able to open up a whole new realm of opportunity. And I feel very lucky that I'm living in this time, not in the sense of the divide in this country. In that sense, I would have liked to live 50 years ago to see what things were like back then. But as far as opportunity right now, there's no better time. There's no better time. And I'm sure it'll only get easier. I would hope that it would only get easier and more easier for people to pursue the things that they want to pursue. Especially artists. And by artists, it's kind of a blanket term. Artists meaning musicians, traditional artists like painters or whatever, comedians, all these actors, like, I want a world where they are free and they have the most opportunity that they can to pursue that. And this is kind of coming from, outfield, but I was thinking about universal basic income, and if you don't know what it is, look it up. Andrew Yang, who was running for president, I think it was the last election, he's a Democrat, very reasonable guy, because I listened to him on Rogan, and he's very reasonable, very, very reasonable, very smart, but he and a bunch of other, I guess, politicians or other people were kind of in support of this idea where universal basic income, where every adult would get a check every month to cover their basic needs. So whether it's $1,000, I guess it would differ state to state, because the cost of living here in Pennsylvania is way lower than it is in New York or even New Jersey. So yeah, like, this check would cover your basic needs. So rent and like groceries and maybe, some utilities. I don't know. But at first I was like, see, I was kind of torn about it. And I guess in a way I still am, because a part of me has the idea where it might dwarf, and I don't even know if that's a good word, but it might dwarf your productivity. You know what I mean? I always fucking forget words, great words, when I'm on the spot. I need to get better with that, but it might kind of deter you from really putting in the work to achieve what you want to achieve. Because if you have a $1,400 check coming your way every month and you're a lazy person, you'll be like, oh, well, that's it. All my, I don't have to get a job. I don't have to do this. Everything's covered. But some people, it might make them work harder, because now they're covered. Their basic shit is covered, but now they can pursue their business. Now they can pursue their dream, whether they want to do comedy or acting or painting or music or podcast, literally anything. And that's what kind of draws me towards it. I'm not saying I'm in full support of it yet. I don't even know if it'll ever come to pass in our lifetime, at least, but I've been thinking a lot about that. And as an artist, I support people being free and having the balls to go out into this world and pursue what they want to. And if that allows that, in a way, it's what's kind of appealing about it. But yeah, I don't know where that came from. I don't know where universal basic income came from. It kind of came from outfield, but yeah. Yeah, like the looks people give you when you tell them you want to do something unorthodox in their mind. It's like, why is that unorthodox? What if I think being an accountant is weird? What if I think you answering to some guy in a bigger office who has a bigger cigar than you, and taking all his demands? What if I think that's weird? Working for somebody, what if I think that's weird? Because people starting their own podcasts and starting their own shit, it like I said, it's becoming more and more often, and they're making a fucking killing. Granted, you have to have good content, and you got to take the right steps, but you put the work in and shit. Like, one day you could make way more than your fucking local accountant. Like, where did those dirty looks get them? Because now the guy sitting at home making $60,000 an episode, putting out 8 episodes a month, is now making what that guy makes in a half a year in one episode. It's crazy. You tell him, God forbid, you tell him you wanna play guitar on stage every night and make a living doing that. They look at you like you got fucking, pizza dough head. Really, they do. It's really not a good thing to look down on people because they don't do they don't take the road that you took, So I did have an article here on CNN, but I think I lost it. But that's okay, because it is CNN, so it's probably not true anyway. Where am I at right now? 40, almost an hour. Maybe I should take this to an hour, but I don't know. Yeah, I might end it here. I got some stuff to do before I gotta go to work. Yeah, I'll end it here. Why not, right? Alright, everybody. Hope you enjoyed this one. This is another one just like last week. I just kind of went off the cuff. Didn't really have... didn't really have many articles for you, but... I think I'm slowly gravitating towards just freestyling this kind of thing and just talking, because when I go article to article and just talk about it, it's kind of, it doesn't blend in, nothing blends in. But I did open with the guys dying in the pile of shit, so rest in peace to those guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.